Hi folks, it's Chef Kevin. Tonight I'm making pan-seared duck breasts with a red curry sauce. I think you're going to like it. Okay, let me tell you a little something about ducks. Duck was very popular in the 1900s in the United States. However, during the 1960s, 70s, it sort of fell out of favor. Although today you can still find it in some fine dining restaurants. Now perhaps you've heard of Long Island duck. Long Island duck was very famous, very renowned for their flavor and texture. There were dozens of duck farms in Long Island, but as Long Island became more populated, the duck farms had to close down due to environmental issues. Now you can still get Long Island duck today, although they're raised in Pennsylvania. Okay, I have two boneless breasts here, skin on of course. Now the breasts are the best part of the duck. The other parts really don't have a lot of meat to them. It's not like a chicken. Today's chickens are raised to be plump and fatty, and the ducks are not. The other parts of the ducks don't really have that much food on them, much meat on them. And I've always seen the breast sold separately. I've never seen any other part of the duck sold separately, although I've seen whole ducks for sale, and they're usually frozen. Let's take a close look at these breasts here. Okay, these are my duck breasts. These are by Bell and Evans. They do high-end chicken as well. They're pricey, but you pay for what you get. These are two 8-ounce duck breasts. I purchased these at Whole Foods, and they were $13 for two. Raised without antibiotics, all vegetarian diet, no growth hormones, no junk. So it sounds good. So it's a lot more expensive than chicken, but it's a nice treat to have once in a while. Okay, before I start cooking the duck, I'm going to cook my curry sauce, because this is going to take 20 to 30 minutes in just the cook time. Let's take a look at the ingredients for the red curry sauce. Okay, here are the ingredients for the red curry sauce. Going to be using red curry paste. Now this has a bunch of good stuff in it. Red chili pepper, garlic, lemongrass, salt, shallots, coriander root, and kaffir lime peel. Okay, so I'm going to be enhancing that with fresh ginger, garlic, onions, 2 serranos, peppers, nice and hot, and I'm going to be using crushed tomatoes. You can use fresh tomatoes if you'd like. I'm trying to make this somewhat easy, and most restaurants, or I should say just about any restaurant, uses canned tomatoes. They don't make their own tomato sauce. Or if they do, they use canned tomato sauce and then enhance it. Okay, those are the main ingredients. Let's see how I do this. Okay, here we go, folks. Making the red curry sauce. This is very similar to an Italian style sauce, except it has curry flavor in it. So I have a 2-quart saucepan here, a couple of tablespoons of sauteing oil. This is the light one. You shouldn't use a very heavy oil. You don't want to taste the oil. Okay, the oil is starting to shimmer. I don't want it to smoke. It doesn't have to be that hot. I have one medium diced yellow onion. Now I just want to sweat these down. That means I want to make it translucent. I don't want to give it any color. This should only take about 3 minutes or so. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of fresh garlic. Now today you can buy garlic already chopped up in the bottle. I've used it before. It's really not that great. There's not a lot of taste to it. Chopping garlic is not all that difficult. I'm going to go ahead and add the ginger. That's 2 tablespoons of freshly ground ginger. Ginger is another thing that you can buy pre-cut. I don't suggest it. It's rather tasteless. And usually it's packed in water, which wouldn't work out for this type of cooking. I'm going to go ahead and add my 1 serrano pepper. I'm only making 1 duck breast tonight. The other one I will do another night, completely different. The serrano is rather finely diced. I left the seeds in there because I want to get some heat going. Okay, I'm going to let this cook down for a couple of minutes and then add the tomato sauce and the curry spice. Okay, this is nice and translucent. Going to add 2 cups crushed tomatoes. Going to add 2 ounces of Thai kitchen red curry paste. Life is good, folks. Okay, I'm just going to let this simmer for 20 minutes or so, let all these flavors come together, and then start working on my duck breasts. These are Bell & Evans duck breasts. It's a high-end product. They also make chicken as well. It's high-end as well, and it's expensive, but you get what you pay for. Okay, I have 2 8-ounce breasts here, and that's the normal serving one would get at a restaurant. 1 breast, 8 ounces. I have 2 in here. The price was $13 a pound. So it's definitely a lot more than chicken. Chicken is very inexpensive. Okay, these are raised without antibiotics. All vegetarian diet, no growth hormones, no junk. Ingredients, duck. Okay, that sounds good to me. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is start my red curry sauce because that's going to take 20 to 30 minutes in cook time. And then I'll start cooking up the breasts. I'll show you how to do that. The breasts are very simple to cook and they cook fairly quickly. Another thing about duck is there's no white meat on duck. Even though these are breasts, it's still dark meat. There's no white meat on a duck. Okay, so here is one duck breast here. This is Bell & Evans duck breasts. And what I'm going to do with a very sharp knife is to cut lines into the duck breast, but only into the fat and not into the meat. Turn it around. Now, why I'm doing this is for two reasons. Number one is I want to render out the fat. There's quite a lot of fat in a duck breast and in a duck as well. And the other reason is if you don't score it, it'll curl up and then be hard to cook evenly. So salt and pepper both sides. There we go. Now if you take a close look at this breast of duck, you'll see the outer skin, of course, and then there's a very heavy layer of fat between the skin and the meat. And what I'm going to do is put it into a cold pan, and that'll render the fat out slowly. And that's a good thing because the residual fat can be used for other cooking things. Okay. So what I have here is a cold pan. Just turn the heat on. That's a cold pan. Skin side down. Now this will take about 7 minutes on the skin side down, and then I'll flip it around and do the other side for 3 minutes. And this is what you want to do because you want to have a duck breast that's not cooked like chicken. Most connoisseurs of duck enjoy their duck medium rare. This is not like a chicken where you have to thoroughly cook it. So that's what I'm going for. Okay, that was 7 minutes on the skin side. If you can see it, it has a nice crispy skin on the outside. that in a little bit better for you? There you go. I rendered out the fat, I poured the fat off. Nice and crispy. Good. We're cooking tonight, folks. Okay, I just took the duck out. It's still pretty hot. And like with all other proteins, beef, chicken, whatever, you must let it come back to a lower temperature so that the juices are retained inside. If you were to cut it immediately, you'd lose a lot of that juice, that flavor. So I'm going to let this rest 5 minutes, show you how to cut it, and then plate it. Okay, it's been resting for a few minutes. Time to cut it and plate it. Okay, you can see it has nice little crispy skin on the top. All of the fat, or most of the fat, has been rendered out. Okay, what I'm going to do now is turn it over, and I'm going to cut it with the skin side down. This way it's easier to cut. It's harder to cut when the skin is at the top. So I'm going to cut it at an angle. Fairly large pieces so that it doesn't get cold. Okay. You can see it is perfect. Medium rare. This is what it should look like. Now for the plating. Okay, this is my red curry sauce that I made. I'm going to put that down first. Going to put the duck, now skin side up, on top. And then I'm going to put my sauteed red cabbage on the sides. Now this is a really healthy meal. There's no starch in here, no flour, no sugar. It's very low carb, high protein. There's a lot of good stuff in there, the garlic, the tomatoes, the onions, the red cabbage. Let me bring you in a little bit more. And of course you have your medium rare duck. I'm going to dig into this now, folks, because I'm so hungry. Thanks for watching my video, and if you like me as a chef, give me a thumbs up, perhaps subscribe, and stay healthy. Okay, this is my red curry sauce that I made. Going to put that down first. Going to put the duck, now skin side up, on top. And then I'm going to put my sauteed red cabbage on the sides. Now this is a really healthy meal. There's no starch in here, no flour, no sugar. It's very low carb, high protein. There's a lot of good stuff in there. The garlic, the tomatoes, the onions, the red cabbage. Let me bring you in a little bit more. And of course you have your medium rare duck. I'm going to dig into this now, folks, because I'm so hungry. Thanks for watching my video. And if you like me as a chef, give me a thumbs up, perhaps subscribe, and stay healthy. One other thing I just realized is I didn't put the sauce on top of the duck because the sauce is not the key element. The key element is the crispy skin duck. So I didn't want to cover that up. Okay, thanks again.